Jelly Roll and Son of a Sinner, 6:04 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Jimmy is on his way back from Nashville. He'll be back with us again finally tomorrow. All back together for the first time in a couple of weeks. So we've all been together because of vacation schedules. Another hot day today. Deb has declared this a no tube top day here at the radio station.
Please.
So even though it's going to be nice and hot, maybe you can wear sleeveless shirts or crop tops or whatever you call them. To work. Maybe you could. I don't know.
I'm doubting that.
But not today for us here. But sunny today, hot, 90 degrees.
Wow.
Now, looking at the forecast that Chuck left us here, it's going to be a little bit cooler starting next week. So
Don't
that's
we have
good.
rain coming in too sometime?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Later today and then tomorrow could be some severe weather. Right now, though, we have clear skies, 64 degrees, and a no tube top day, I
You're
guess.
welcome.
Here.
You're welcome, people. Oh, come on.
6:12 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin on a Tuesday. It was yesterday late morning, early afternoon. We got word of another police officer dying in the line of duty. This is the third Indiana law enforcement officer in the last 12 days that has been killed in the line of duty. Just so sad. Makes you pause for a moment and thank these men and women that have chosen to wear whatever color uniform that they may have to protect us, make our area safer. We're remembering John Durham. He's a Marion County Sheriff officer that was killed yesterday. Trooper Aaron Smith, who was struck and killed on June 28th while laying out stop sticks in a pursuit. And then Tell City police officer Heather Glenn was shot and killed while trying to detain a domestic violence suspect.
Yeah, the third officer that most recent was killed outside of the Criminal Justice Center by an inmate who then, after the attack and the officer died of his injuries, stole the van and took off. I tell you, we go to work every day and we assume with the assumption that we're coming home.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they do too, but there's that risk. It's so elevated. And he leaves behind a family, 4 children.
Yeah. His wife is also a deputy. He's got a son that's in training to become a deputy, and then 2, I think, they're the Air Force. That are in the Air Force.
They all serve.
They've all served in one way. That's right, Deb. So anyway, we just take a moment and say thank you to all those men and women who have chosen to protect us. Mm-hmm. They don't do it for the pay. We know that.
That's certainly right.
They do it because this is what they feel they need to be doing. But we do not ever want to take that for granted, what those men and women have done. I wish it was cold. It's going to be hot. It's I think Chuck said our 5th or 6th day here in the 90s.
Yikes.
That we're going to have today. That, of course, is Luke Combs. 6:36 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Special day today. It is National Cheer Up the Lonely Day.
Never even heard of this day.
My middle daughter, Heather, used to hate it when we would go out to eat and she would see, especially an elderly person, sitting by themselves having dinner. She would just say, I thought they were lonely. I said, they're not lonely. Maybe they're enjoying their peace and quiet.
Must be a middle child thing, because I would feel bad for them.
Well, and I know your dad did something special on those. He would be honoring the National Cheer Up the Lonely Day today.
Well, we would.
Because what he would have you guys do.
We would always go to MCL, and in Anderson, it was located right next to, it was right down from the record store. And so we'd go to the record store, and then we'd go in there and eat. And he would always have us sit at what was called the friendly table. I never heard. I went to MCL, but I never heard of the friendly table. Well, they had a sign. I mean, it was like an MCL thing. They had a sign hanging down on chains, and it said friendly table. So that was where people would sit if you wanted to visit with others and not just be exclusive with just your family. So, and we hated it. We hated it because I just always thought, I don't know them. I just want to talk to my sisters.
Yeah.
But I get the lesson he was trying to teach. However, now in hindsight, it makes me wonder, those people, maybe they sat there because they wanted company, but maybe they also didn't want to, they probably wanted quiet and peace after sitting with a family of 5.
The tables that were marked, leave us alone table.
Yes, that's right.
Don't come over here table.
That's true.
We want no kids next to us table.
So what's the national holiday today?
A National Cheer Up the Lonely Day.
So we shouldn't assume, though, that people eating alone are lonely.
Absolutely not.
Actually, one time when I did say I hated seeing a gentleman who was alone at Wendy's, my father said, how do you know his wife isn't at home?
Right.
You know, maybe he wanted to have some quiet time just to go and read a book or, so you shouldn't assume.
But think of today, a special way you can cheer up the lonely. Maybe it is visiting a shut-in. Drive by and drop off some cookies to somebody.
Put a gift card on somebody's car.
Or sit at the friendly table at MCL.
Go.
She tried out for American Idol 7 times.
I can't believe that.
And didn't make it. Of course, she has made it now. Yeah. Lainey Wilson and Heart Like a Truck. 7:07 now with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. I was on vacation last week. And I guess you talked about me, about a word that I don't say properly.
Well, Jim had a word he doesn't say properly. And so then I said, well, what?
I've isolated it.
Oh, no.
I know what you've done. Because the listeners come to my defense.
I mean, I've told you about it before.
Let me just play it.
Kevin always says both.
Yeah, he doesn't hear that.
He says the both of us. And I'm like, there's no L in that. And we've told him that for years, but he still says it, and that's his thing.
Yeah, I don't say that. I say both.
No, that's the first time ever I've heard you say both.
I think you just mishear me.
That is not true.
But a listener heard you guys talking about that last week, came to my defense I'm going to claim that she came to my defense, but she pointed out a word that you often mispronounce.
And I have never known for me to do this.
Yes.
So she said, Deb, she sent us a message on Facebook, says, Deb, I noticed years ago you say moment instead of moment. She says and she spelled it with an L. She said, so I say
moment.
In that moment. But maybe I do.
Yeah, I think you do.
I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, yeah.
Well, so I wrote her back and I said, no way. I'm going to tell the guys you share this. And she said, sorry. So I guess I say moment. So we both stick an L in a word that doesn't belong.
Yeah, I say both.
No,
I don't say it.
That is the first time ever.
I think you mishear me all the time.
Because you are now thinking about it. No, you always say the both of us. And it's like there's
that would be wrong.
Then you
I
also
don't say that.
What else did you say I mispronounced?
I can say drawer.
No, I don't do that. I just removed it from my vocabulary. But you said I say anyways.
Yeah, you say anyways, and I always thought it was anyway.
It is anyway. I looked it up. It said you can't have an adverb be plural. So I don't know why I do that. But if I'm telling a story, I'll say, well, anyways.
Right.
And I should be saying, well, anyway.
Yeah, and in the moment.
In the moment. I don't know why I do that.
I don't know.
Okay, so now I'll be more aware of it. Yeah.
For coming to my defense.
Thanks, Leslie. Appreciate it.
I do appreciate that.
That's Jelly Roll, who has no filter, by the way. I saw an interview with him the other day. No filter. And the song is called I Need a Favor on the country station, 95.5 WFMS with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. It's time for Deb's Daily Dirt. And a court has ruled that Lady Gaga does not have to pay the $500,000 reward for her stolen dogs. And it's kind of a given, in my opinion, because the woman who was suing for it was involved in the theft.
No, wait. So the woman thought she'd get a reward, but she's the one that took the dog, or at least part of it.
Two guys and she were all involved together.
Yeah, it is a
She
given,
was in a
you're
car.
right.
But so she ended up turning the guys in. They got the dogs back, but then she's trying to collect money on it. It's
I
like,
think you're right.
Sorry, you were
you're
involved. Right. It's not going to work that way. Billie Eilish says that she's been having fans throw objects at her on stage for years. She said this is nothing new. I mean, it's happening more often for sure with artists, but she says she's been dealing with this for a long time.
You see what Adele did? She came out with one of those big, T-shirt launchers.
Oh, no.
And she said, if anybody throws something on stage, I'm firing back at you.
Well, actually,
and I don't think I'd mess with her.
Well, people would want a T-shirt, though.
Well,
That's
it wasn't a T-shirt. I don't know what was in there, but it was one of those
that sounds
things.
like her.
But, yeah.
I love that. Now, if you missed Trisha Yearwood's post, she's in Vegas performing at Caesar's Palace, and she posted on Instagram. She looks amazing. Her hair is more blonde. And she said, Vegas, I did a thing. Hair inspiration, the iconic Goldie Hawn. And you post a photo of them side by side. She's got the exact hair. She even did bangs. So
now, do you think she cleared it through Garth, or do you think she does what she wants?
What do you think? I think she does what she wants. Garth, would
he'd be fine either way.
He'd be fine either way. But she usually has more of a brownish blonde, and it's definitely a summer blonde. So she looks great. 7:23, that's Deb's Daily Dirt, and it's sponsored by Mark Dietel Realty.
7:38 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Jimmy's on vacation today. He'll be back tomorrow. Full house tomorrow. Yep. Probably should clean up his area where he normally sits. I left a mess over there the other day. I thought, I might move it. See all the boxes. I don't know what he's got going on over there.
I don't know if he'd notice.
I don't think so either.
I think you'd be fine.
We should take a picture of this. We all have our own little certain area that we sit, and his area is always kind of messy. A little messier than...
But he says it's an organized chaos.
That's what he does say. You're exactly right. 7:39 now with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Today is National Pet Photo Day.
Okay.
So today's the day, you used to do the school picture day. This is the day you should stop for a moment and take a picture of your pet. Now, I am betting, Deborah, that you're smack dab in the middle of most people are guilty of this, and that is that you have more photos of Bella, your dog, than you do of your... Oh, let's say your husband.
Probably so.
Or your kids.
I have an
or your
album.
Family, extended family.
I
you have
a
an
lot
album
of photos.
the dog?
I have a pet album. Well, on my phone. So every once in a while it comes up and it just sifts through and rotates through all of them and puts it automatically to music. I've taken so many.
Earlier today, I went through the Jim, Deb, and Kevin Facebook page. I just kind of went through the posts that Deb has made over the last several weeks. And a vast majority of them are of the dog.
Yeah. Well, is it that I love my dog or I'm bored?
Well, most people are this way. Someone said it's easier to take a picture of the dog than it is to get the family. Got to get the kids round up.
Well, especially for moms of boys, they hate their photos taken.
Exactly right.
It's so different from my nieces.
Yeah. Where Bella, I mean, she's just kind of like a
she's not doing anything
She's
else.
laying there anyway.
Right.
You just got to make sure you don't trip over her. That's the biggest thing.
Well, and she's the nicest to me. She doesn't talk back.
Oh, well, your kids are nice to you.
I'm just saying she's nicer.
Anyway, today is a special day, so Deb, I expect for you to post some more pictures on our Facebook pages of your dog Bella.
Okay.
Maybe one on the way to get Starbucks. Was it a pup cup?
A pup cup.
Pup cup that she gets.
At Starbucks. We went to the vet yesterday. They couldn't get a photo. You know, when you go into the vet, she all of a sudden doesn't want to sit still and doesn't want to get on the scales. And they were trying to get a photo. It was a new vet. They tried to get a photo for her profile, and she would not. She would not oblige.
You load up your phone and say, well, here's 15 of them you may pick.
I almost did. Like, here, I've got a headshot right here.
It's 8:10 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. So I was curious if this is a guy thing or just the right thing. I think I know the answer to this. I put this on our Facebook page. We were on vacation last week. I've been married 38 years to my wife, Andrea.
Yeah.
And she still does this to me occasionally. And we were at a restaurant, and she, as we're getting ready to order, she turns to me and says, "You want to share a meal?" Well, my tastes are totally different. You know, she's going to order some salad with, I don't know, whatever. So, and I'm like, no, I wanted a steak, or I wanted chicken. I wanted something totally different. And so I always feel guilty when I say, no, I don't want to. We've been married 38 years. You got to know I don't share. Not that I don't share food.
But you could also eat your own meal. You know?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't want to. And then she always, okay,
you don't want to give up half.
She acts a little bit disappointed that I'm not sharing a meal with her.
Well, I get it.
We'll put it on Facebook. Jesse says, now, they used to do that when they first started dating and when they first got married. But after that, it's like, no, it's like, your own meal.
Yeah.
Plus, someone else said that they do it because they know there's going to be some leftovers and they'd have a second.
Sure.
A second
for
meal
lunch the next day.
The next day. So anyway, this was early on in our trip to Wisconsin, and I felt kind of guilty about it.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, the next meal, we're going to share a meal. The next time we go out.
And you're going to suggest it?
And I'm going to suggest it.
Okay.
And I did, and we did. And it worked out well.
Why is that?
We got pizza. 8:25 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Jimmy returns from his vacation tomorrow. We'll have a full house tomorrow during the show.
Yeah.
In Nash News now, Dan and Shay released a video of themselves talking about how they almost broke up last year in 2022. They said they put so much pressure on themselves to be perfect that they stopped enjoying everything. It became more of a job than anything else. Said it took 4 months break from each other, and then they realized they did have something special and worth working for.
Wow.
So they're fine. But
so glad.
That 4 month break was therapeutic. It was good for them. Kane Brown shared a really cool concert moment with his wife, Caitlin, the other day. They were in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And they're performing their song, Thank God. Caitlin then announced to the crowd that this really is a special time for her because she's from Philadelphia. It's her hometown and able to perform in her hometown.
That's cool.
On stage with her husband. That's very neat. In case you missed this, Lainey Wilson recently admitted that American Idol rejected her 7 times.
I cannot believe
7
that.
times she auditioned for American Idol and was told, no, you don't have what it
Never
takes.
made it further than
She
that
also
first
tried
round.
out for The Voice and didn't make it there either.
Wow.
So who knows, really?
She also says, it's great for those that have made it in that direction and with that avenue, but she's glad it turned out the way it did for her.
Absolutely, yeah. We are too, obviously. Farm Aid's annual music and food festival is returning to Noblesville, Indiana on September 23rd at Ruoff Music Center. Tickets will go on sale to the public on Saturday. That's coming Saturday, July 15th at 10 a.m. Performances by Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, just to name a few. This is the third time that Farm Aid has been in Indiana, so it's great to have them back on Hoosier soil, as we like to say. That's your Nash News now.